All right, the pro tip of the week. 5 steps to reduce your business insider threat risk. So the first thing you need to do is you need to educate yourself, right? What is that? That's actually not the first step, but it's just something you need to start, kind of a side step. Educate yourself. What is an insider threat? Okay, you got 3 different types. There's the outsiders posing as insiders. The poser, that's just some dude or dudette that decides to walk in. I've seen this happen. They come in and they just inject themselves into your organization and they become part of your organization, but they're not on the payroll, and therefore they steal data. Outstanding. Good social engineering technique. Works like a champ. Been there, done that. Got the t-shirt. Works like a champ. Malicious insiders. That's someone who's on the inside who does not like you and may want to steal your data. I've seen this happen as well. They don't. Sometimes they start off as being not malicious, of just kind of being, well, kind of on the fence, and then something sets them off, and all of a sudden they become a malicious insider. That's like, no, I'm taking the company down. Period. So that's the malicious insider. Number 3 is the unaware insider. Mistakes. So you have insider threats when people go, oh, I like the pretty link with kitties, and they click on it. That's an insider. Unaware of what they just did, until they click on the link, and then now they realize, uh-oh, that ain't good, because when they get pictures back of not a little kitty or of a monster truck instead, they think, oh, that's not good at all. So there's the 3 options: outsiders posing as insiders, malicious insiders, and unaware insiders. Lots of insiders. All right. Now, there's some quotes that came out of the 2015 Verizon data breach report, and I think there's one that's come out since recently, and I haven't quite updated it, but I looked online of these numbers. Sometimes these guys with the big, huge frontal lobes start talking and they throw numbers out. And I know they've come to some sort of equation on how they've gotten these numbers. I personally think these numbers are a little low, because it just depends on what business you're in, though, too. Because if you're in the business of just personal data, yeah, I could see this number. But if you're dealing with, you have intellectual property or something of high significance, or even like a multi-gazillion-dollar company, then these numbers I think are a bit small. But anyway, the breach report talked about $145,000 as a typical breach cost for an insider threat. Again, I don't know the specifics on the size of business and so forth, but I would say at a minimum you're looking at that, just even with lawyer costs and everything else, is $145,000. So if you're a small business and you hear $145,000 and go, I don't even have that. Well, guess what? What happens to you if you don't have the money? Out of business, buddy. So yeah, you need to really pay attention to that. They say it resolves about 54 days. I've seen it go much longer than this. It just like drags on forever, and you think it's done, and then it pops back up again, and you're like, oh, dear Lord. So yeah, the resolve they say is 54 days, but that's from the time you detect it. That's the other issue. If you don't detect it, it can go on for years, and nobody knows. And it said that CEOs are about 74% of them are concerned about it. Yeah, they all better be concerned, because especially in today's world, it's a big deal, huge deal. So some key questions you got to ask yourself. You need to define the crown jewels. What are your crown jewels? What is important to you? And that's data classification. And you're on what? Okay, your data. So you have the wonderful Kentucky Fried Chicken recipe that makes the most awesomeness breading for Kentucky Fried Chicken, right? So the chicken's chicken, but the breading's like awesome. So what you do is you have this document that has all your data. This is what we use. But where's the additional data that made that document? Where's all that stuff? Because if you're not taking care of that, somebody can steal the derivative data, is what I like to call it. But the secondary data, they can steal that and put together the Kentucky Fried Chicken recipe. So it's just important to know where are your crown jewels. What's important? What are you going to try to protect? Are you auditing it, or is it self-audited, or a third-party audited? Who's auditing it? Do you understand how people are accessing the data? How are they connecting to get access to your data? Are you allowing people to remote in? I don't know. So it's something to consider. Do you watch the watchers? If you have people that are taking care of your access and access management, your admins for your website or for your business, are you watching them? You need to, because they could be the unaware insider threat that you're not even aware of. So you need to watch the watchers. So step 1, define the crown jewels, right? We talked about that. Decide what's important. Step 2, know your current security posture. Your security controls that you may have in place right now. Understand the security products that may help you. What does it take to secure your environment? So step 1 is understanding what's important. Step 2 is know your current security posture. Step 3 is set up an insider threat program. Okay, I'm going to keep it simple on this. what do you have, some basic things you have in place for an insider threat? Do you have entry and exit processes with your HR and compliance? They get hired, they get fired. Do we have a plan in place to take care of them? Do you have training and awareness training for your employees? So awareness and training, all that kind of security stuff, right? For employees, are they aware of what's to be expected of them? Are they aware that you're watching them? Those kind of things. Define and implement security products based on risk. So you get these products based on risk because security companies, they'll come out and say, you know what? We'll give you all the latest and greatest bells and whistles, but do you really need those based on the risk that you have? Say you are a company that takes care of sanitation for the toilet systems in the public restrooms. I don't know. That was a really wild makeup. Your intellectual property probably isn't too much to worry about, right? So you don't need the super uber Gucci security products for your company. But if you are Apple, I bet money they've got some really highly engaged security products because their risk is higher, okay, than the sanitation company. And you have an incident response process in place. And this could be as simple as, you know what? Who do you call? Not Ghostbusters, but who do you call in the event that your business is hacked, you have an insider threat, what is it? And how do you go, what are the processes to go through it? Very simple. Step 4, enforce separation of duties and least privilege. And what that means is you limit your access based on the role of the job. If a person is a sanitation person who takes out trash, they have access to a computer, their role is smaller, right? From a computer standpoint. Job isn't smaller, but the role is, right? But you have a person who deals with multi-gazillions of dollars and transferring money back and forth, their access is a different level. And so therefore it should be based on that. It shouldn't be everybody's the same. It should be based on their role. And they should have least privilege to do the job. So if the guy who transfers money is transferring gobs of money, he or she should only be allowed to do that. They shouldn't be able to add servers to your network. Okay, they should only be allowed to do what their role requires them to do. Step 5, monitor user behavior. Insider threat indicators and insider threat detection. You need to look for them. Watch for the funky behavior. Are they coming to work late? Are they acting kind of funny? Are they, when people ask them questions, do they ask standoffish? Or if that's what their personality was before, now are they really happy? I don't know. So the point is that you need to look for some key indicators, threat indicators of what these insider threats might be doing. And it's just a lot of it. We used to say in the military is every person is a sensor. And it's true because every person has the ability to watch. And so often in these insider threat programs, most people knew way ahead of time that there was something funky going on. They just never said anything. So you need to educate your employees to say something if they feel that something's not right. And they need to have a plan in place to non-attribution, right? Someone says something, then you go, well, why are you saying something? What did you do? How do you know this? And then the next thing you know, the people that you're wanting to tell you are not telling you because they're too afraid of their own jobs. So again, understand that. But this insider threat is based on KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. And I don't really want you to go away from this thinking you got to make this really hard. If you're a small, medium business, this here will get you a long ways down the road. Now, there's a lot more to these programs than just what I've given you. However, again, if you do these things, it will take you a long ways.